In this Map Suite MVC Edition sample app walkthrough, we're going to show you how you can use a ScaleLine adornment layer with your maps. If you're not familiar with what adornments are, they are things you would add to your map that you want to stay in a fixed position on the screen, regardless of where the user pans or zooms. Some examples of this would be like a title, a north arrow, a compass, or in this sample we're using a scale line, as you'll see down here in the bottom left, to give your map some reference to scale. So with this sample here, we're just showing a basic map with the World Map Kit background. We've got a scale line adornment down here, and we also have other scale bars and other types of adornments that you can use too. And the scale line is just kind of a real quick and dirty type of adornment to give your users a reference of how long a specific unit is in that given area. And with this sample here, you can see that we can move the scale line around to, say, the lower right if we wanted it to be positioned there, or the upper left, or different locations throughout the map. Usually the lower right or the lower left are the most common places to put scale lines. And with the scale line, it's a little bit different than a scale bar because it has actually both units. It's got kilometers and miles in this situation. And you'll see if we zoom in, it'll automatically adjust to be a new scale, based upon the zoom level that we've zoomed into. So let's take a look at the source code real quick to give you an idea how you would implement this. So first of all, just on the client side view source, down here we're adding the map to the page. We're just doing our normal setup with the World Map Kit here. And then down here we're creating a scale line adornment layer. So this is an adornment layer that's built into the Map Suite core that's accessible to virtually any type of Map Suite product. And then we just add that adornment layer to our dynamic overlay just like any other layer. So typically you want to add these on top because adornments will always draw on top of everything else or as your last layer. And we render that out. So that gets you your basic map where you just got the scale line adornment being displayed. Now to look at the code where we actually control where the adornment is positioned, let's go back to the view source, and you can see we've got our list box here with all the different options. And when that a user clicks on that, we call this change line or scale line location JavaScript routine, which gets the value corresponding to where the user clicks. And then we do an AJAX callback using the AJAX call action off the map. Tell it what controller we want, and that we want to call the set scale line location, passing in the placement. And then when we're done, we're going to do this callback to this function here, which redraws a dynamic overlay and updates that placement of that scale line. So the last bit of code I want to show you is here on the server side in that set scale line location method. And really all we got in here is we're getting the placement based upon the arguments passed in, and doing a switch or case statement here to figure out what placement we want. And then the placement's controlled actually down here where we're setting the location property off of the scale line adornment layer. So this code here is just getting a reference to our overlay, and then we're getting a reference to the actual scale line adornment layer based on the name, setting its placement, and then redrawing the dynamic overlay on the server so it'll be in sync with what's displayed on the client. So that's pretty much it for a real simple sample on how you use the scale line adornment layer. I'd invite you to look at all the other types of adornment layers that are available inside of Map Suite. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to contact us, or you can post them directly on our discussion forums at thinkgeo.com/forums. Thank you for watching.